to the channel. And today we're going to be doing a review on The Witcher, the library edition, just because this is something I just recently finished reading. I think this is a great read, super cheap. You can find it on Amazon for $30. Of course, you're going to be taking the risk that this is going to be packaged poorly, as the one I received has damage on the corner, has some scratches. They literally threw this in a box and shipped it to me. But even so, I did enjoy it. And this is just one of those books where you can't really judge a book by its cover. I know you guys heard that old saying, and this is particularly true because I believe that this front cover took some inspiration from the Hellboy series. That that really flat, sharp type of artwork. It doesn't really have any relation to The Witcher other than they're both published by Dark Horse, I believe. So this does include The Glass House, which was the first comic book published by Dark Horse for The Witcher, and I do have the #1 issue here. This is pretty much a speculation buy. This is, however, not the first time we saw The Witcher in comics. In the back, I do have some other key issues along the wall from Poland, and they were published overseas before, Strange magazine size cover. And I would like to share those with you guys. I was planning on doing that closer to the December Netflix release with Cavill, which I'm very excited about. But if you guys want to see them beforehand, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll go ahead and go over those key issues back on the wall. But this is going to be mostly centered around the actual library edition of the book. So this collects House of Glass by Paul Tobin, and the art's by Joe Carrillo. This is also collects Killing Monsters, Fox Children, and The Curse of Crows. So I really enjoyed it. I really can't really decide which one was my favorite story because the art is different from each one of them, and I feel like the art for Curse of Crows and Killing Monsters got a lot better, whereas the same art by Joe Carrillo it doesn't really hit with me, but it still worked, I believe, for what they were trying to do. So that's why it looks like the Hellboy, because the main cover is by Mike Mignola. So that's why it looks so much like Hellboy, now that we know that. So, alright, let's go. House of Glass, which was a story by Paul Tobin and Joe Carrillo. This is very flat, not as much detail into it. I really enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed the game, then you guys are going to enjoy this, because this is pretty much side quest that's happening. Alright, and it's just pretty much Geralt traveling with Roach, and this is pretty much a solo story. He does have one of his friends that he just meets out in the swamp. There's a succubus, there's a Legion, there's a haunted house. Man, it's all in here, right? I really enjoyed that story. I might have to edit this out because there is nudity in here. There's a succubus in here. Alright, now the next story is The Fox of Children. This is a different story as well. This is more of a seafaring. This deals with the illusions aspects. I believe there's like some ladies in the woods that have like, they're able to manipulate illusions. There is xenophobia of dwarves and elves in here, which if you played the games, that seems to be a continuous concept throughout the video games. Even if you've never played the video games, I think that this is something fun that's really into, because it's short stories of Geralt's side quests or adventures. And they do mention like part of the overall understanding as far as like the war and, you know, as far as like the deeper mythology of it. But I don't think you have to understand that to really enjoy the actual story of what's going on. They pretty much give you what Geralt really is. Alright, another short story is Killing Monsters. Now this is where the art gets a little bit more detailed. This is art by Max Bertolini. Alright, so this is a little bit more detailed, a little bit more shades in here. It looks a little bit more three-dimensional, not as flat. And this is another good story. I really enjoyed it. This one was probably the shortest one, not as in length, but it was the fastest one to get through. And this is just very enjoyable. This is pretty much just a monster contract, and it kind of proposes the Killing Monsters as an ambiguity of what a monster really is, whether it's these flesh-eating monsters out here, or is it people that make bad decisions, or are just horrible people in general. So that's pretty cool. And let's move on to the last story. So this last one is by Piotr Kowalski. The art here was definitely my favorite. It's a lot more detailed. And in this last story is pretty much for the people who have played the video games, because this one includes Ciri and it includes Yennefer. And I think it has a lot of good humor between the characters. I think that the way they were depicted is very accurate. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It's so, always with these The Witcher stories, it's never a simple contract where you go out to kill a monster. There's always twists. There's always turns. There's nothing really ever ends up being as simple as just going out, killing a monster, and getting your money. So, yeah, there is a lot of nudity in here, so I have to be careful here. Not for the little kids. And then that was definitely my favorite story, was the ending one, The Curse of Crows. And on the back, it has a sketchbook of possible alternate covers. I thought they were pretty cool. That one was pretty cool. Sketches. I enjoyed the sketches. And there's some pinup art. Really love that one. That one's really cool. This one's more from the video games. And of course, at the end, the advertisements of Gwent, which I absolutely love. Unfortunately, I was away, and I had no access to the outside world when I bought the game, which came with a little card in the back where you had to submit it, mail it away, and then they sent you a pack of Gwent cards. And I'm afraid I missed out on those. Those you can find on eBay now, but I think they're pretty pricey, definitely. They got statues, might get some of those. Overall, this is a good book. Very enjoyable. If you enjoyed The Witcher, then I feel like this is going to be you also enjoy. And if you're new to The Witcher, I feel like this is a great introduction to The Witcher. And so, because it's all short stories, little mini stories of just Geralt doing his thing. So yeah, with that being said, I think I'm very excited to see the Netflix show. And I feel like this might be very successful. Even though I haven't seen enough from the original shows. They showed us one monster scene, which was really cool. I just really hope we see a lot of monsters. I hope it's more, equal drama and equal monsters. And I'm not really convinced as Yennefer, the actress that was playing Yennefer, she looks very young, but we'll see if she's able to pull it off. If they can stay true to the characters, stay true to the material, then I feel like this is going to be widely successful because, like I've always heard me say on this channel, that there's a reason some of these stories cross over into the visual medium of videos and movies and stuff, and that's because these are like the cream of the crop, right? The best stories are the ones that get adapted into movies, and I feel like that the material should be given a little bit of respect when being adapted. Once the characters established, then filmmakers, I think, then could possibly take the freedom to do what they got to do. But I feel like these stories are great as they are, and stories are meant to be retold. I think that's fair to say. And if you have not played The Witcher, you don't have to play Witcher numbers 1 and 2. I did not play those. I have not played those. But that did not stop me from logging in over 500 hours on The Witcher 3, which I recommend. If you like playing video games, dude, just do it. Do yourself a favor and check out The Witcher. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take off. I'll probably, fire up the PC and play some Witcher after this. And I'll see you guys next time on the Jaguar Chickasaw. All right. Peace.